Growing up in a small town in Ohio, I was used to silence. The roads stretched endlessly between thick woods and empty fields, and neighbors were few and far between. My parents left me alone often. At 16, I was independent enough, and the house felt like mine. I liked the solitude. But one night changed everything. It was a weekend, and I was home alone. The wind outside howled through the trees, shaking the branches against my window. I was on my laptop in the living room, the dim glow of the screen my only source of light. That's when I heard it. A sharp, deliberate knock at the front door. My stomach twisted. No one ever came here unannounced. I stood up slowly, moving to the peephole. No one was there. A cold chill crawled up my spine. I checked the locks, secured. Maybe I had imagined it. I turned back to the couch, but before I could sit, the knock came again. This time it was from the back door. I froze. The backyard was fenced in. No one should be able to get back there. My pulse pounded in my ears as I crept to the kitchen. The back door had a small window, just enough to peek through. The yard was empty, but the motion sensor light had been triggered. I grabbed a kitchen knife and stepped back, my breath shaky. Something about the silence felt wrong. The wind had stopped. The house felt like it was holding its breath, waiting. The basement door creaked open. I whipped around, heart hammering. The door to the basement had been shut. I was sure of it. Now it stood ajar, revealing nothing but yawning darkness. My fingers tightened around the knife. I forced myself forward, reaching out to close it. Just as my hand touched the wood, I heard a whisper from below. Not words, just breathing. My blood ran cold. I stepped back, hand shaking as I slammed the door shut and locked it. I retreated to the living room, trying to steady my breathing. My mind scrambled for logic. Maybe it was the wind. Maybe something had fallen. But the whisper... A shadow moved in the hallway. I turned my head so fast my neck cracked. Something stood just beyond the reach of the dim light at the end of the hall. Tall, unmoving, watching. My body refused to move, locked in fear. It didn't step forward. It just stood there, as if waiting for me to acknowledge it. Then it grinned. I couldn't see its face, but I saw the teeth. Too many, too wide. The grin stretched impossibly far. My stomach clenched and I stumbled back, nearly tripping over the coffee table. The thing in the hallway didn't move, but I felt it inch closer, like a presence pressing in from all sides. The house groaned. The walls pulsed like they were breathing. I ran. I sprinted to the front door, fingers fumbling at the locks. My skin prickled with the sensation of something just behind me. The air was thick, suffocating. The moment the door swung open, I threw myself outside, gasping in the cold night air. I turned back. The house was empty. The lights were off. The windows were dark. Had I imagined it? I backed away slowly, my breath clouding in the air. My phone was inside. My car keys, too. I needed help, but there was no way I was stepping back in there. As I turned to run to the neighbor's house, a movement in the upstairs window caught my eye. Something pressed against the glass. The grin widened. The thing in my house raised one hand and waved.